want to welcome everybody to our channel, and please don't forget to subscribe. My goal is to get 100 subscribers, so if you haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button. This Parsha is Lecha. Here we are introduced to the great prophet Avraham. And Avraham is the patriarch, the forefather, the foundation of monotheism, the worship of one ethical God in the world. And how did Avraham Avinu really spread this tremendous wisdom and knowledge of God? You know, it's Avraham Avinu. Avraham, for many years in his life, was lonely. He went on one side of the river, and the entire world was on the other side of the coin. They didn't believe in a benevolent God. And the only way Avraham Avinu was able to spread the light of God, worship of our God, is through loving kindness. And this was really what Avraham Avinu's recipe for success was. He had a tent which had 4 entrances. And any person, any man, woman, and child that needed shelter or food was welcome inside to have a very, very extravagant and elegant meal prepared by Avraham and Sarah. And on the way out, the person would want to thank Avraham and say, thank you for your gracious hospitality. And Avraham Avinu would look the person in the face and say, you need to thank God, not me. Then they would get into a whole philosophical, ethical debate that who is God? And Avraham would teach to the entire world that there is an ethical creator that created the world. And we're not some accident, chas v'shalom, heaven forbid. But Rav Aaron Kotler says a very beautiful thing. And he says, when we recognize this story, a lot of people maybe be misinformed that Abraham's kindness was physical kindness. But the truth of the matter is that the greatest kindness that Abraham, the most meaningful and fundamental kindness that Avraham Avinu did to the world and to those individuals that he touched in such a special way was the spiritual kindness. Because it's such a shame for a person to live a lie his entire life, to imagine that some star or some sand or some other foolishness is a God. So let's always remember the greatest gift that Avraham gave to those individuals was to enlighten them. And this week's Parsha is the Shabbat project that thousands and hundreds of thousands of Jews around the world are celebrating Shabbat together. And if you know and if you have experienced the holiness and specialness and uniqueness of Shabbat, it's always a great mitzvah. There's unfortunately so many Jews in our day and age. That's why the message of Avraham is so relevant to us, that are totally lost. They have never experienced the holiness. David HaMelech says, Ta'amu ura'u ki tov Hashem. When you experience the light of Shabbat, it's a taste of the Garden of Eden, of heaven on this earth. So we have to follow Avraham Avinu. If we see a fellow human being, a fellow Jew, that is in the dark, he doesn't know about the Torah and the mitzvot and Shabbat, it's a great mitzvah to open up our homes to these people, invite them for Shabbat, and really, through this kindness, never forget, the greatest kindness is to enlighten another Jew to get closer to their Creator. Avraham Avinu had a big heart, and he said, how could it be that this world has an architect, has a supervisor, has a benevolent God, and people don't even recognize him? So if we want Mashiach, and we pray for the peace of Jerusalem and Israel, Hebron, there was a big problem today. We need to follow in the steps of Avraham Avinu practice loving kindness, and ultimately enlighten all the Jews, share and celebrate the Torah, mitzvot, and may all the Shabbat meals and the Jews really rejoicing over Shabbat this year, this Shabbat, may in that merit, may we merit to the world that is entirely Shabbat, the coming of Mashiach. Amen.